Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Salma Kazi Wahab and welcome back to yet another edition of Along the Path, where we do exactly that. Take you along the path, follow your journey with you side by side, learn about your experiences, the challenges you face, the obstacles you face, but how you overcome it, how you conquered and ultimately found your peace, fulfillment and contentment. And of course, finding Allah along the way as well, the ultimate goal and destination to be a better Muslim, inshallah, in this world and be united in the akhirah with all those we love and admire so much and seek inspiration from, inshallah. With the dawn of this beautiful new month, Rabiul Awwal, it is spring and spring has come alive in all its glory, but also it's a chance to look at your own life and where is the spring cleaning in your life to find a new you, a new chapter, a new beginning. And I'm thrilled and honored to have with us today one of Durban's favorite personalities, Shaaista Kathree. Welcome to the program. It's such a pleasure to have you here this beautiful time of spring, like a new beginning for you, somebody that's evolved in so many different ways. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Salma. I'm really excited to be here. It's spring. We're both in pink and thrilled to be here.
Lovely pink positive vibes, definitely, inshallah. Such a pleasure to have you and somebody that's evolved, like I said, in so many different ways over the years. A wonderful mom and somebody that we've found on our screens, on our billboards, across the road, on magazine covers, events, busy life, busy chapter. But I'm sure there's more to the layers of what we just see on a billboard. But what does it mean when we say, would you still describe yourself as an influencer if somebody were to say you are influential? What does that kind of mean? Is there a sense of responsibility that comes with that?
So, the term influencer has been thrown around a lot, and I think it's the term for anyone who has a social presence on social platforms. But we all have the ability to influence. And there's something I always lived by in a quote that I love that says, inspire and be inspired. And I absolutely love being a person of influence, let me say, because if one person can be inspired from a healthy green juice that I posted to, just a perspective shift from something that I spoke about, I'm happy. My job is done. And the fact that I have this platform gives me that opportunity to inspire, but then also to be inspired as well and to get value for myself. And I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Do you think there's such a thing as perhaps being too caught up in that social media world? When you look at where we are right now, it's a springtime. We're all looking at our gardens, at plants that are coming a bloom, the little buds, new beginnings. We want to maybe do some spring cleaning in our wardrobes. But what about that? What about being stuck or absorbed in a world that perhaps isn't what we want or what is genuinely meant for us? And you're somebody that's been involved in so many different spaces. Do you think sometimes we get too caught up in trying to be something that we're not?
For me as a creator, I'll speak about that first. Sometimes, you can be so focused on capturing the moment of the moments that you're in that you forget to actually enjoy it. So I've learned now to have a good balance between, capturing content for my audience to enjoy or to be inspired by, but also living in the moment. In terms of us being consumed by what's on digital platforms, on social media, it's a tool. It's a tool like any other. We can take it and we can curate it with beautiful gardens where we can grow our spinach and follow people who are sharing that.
I love
to hijab that someone's wearing that inspires you, to, people with a healthy cooking angle perhaps. And you curate that space to give you exactly what you want on your journey to becoming who you want to be. And for me, that's where you use, or that's how you can use a tool to benefit you.
So would that be called the algorithm now?
I would say the algorithm. Yeah. If you're feeding it a certain thing, it's then giving you back what you put in, The balance for me is me together with my preteen and teen child is making sure that it doesn't consume us. Because yes, looking at everyone's beautiful content, you start to feel that is reality at times. And we start to, at home, sometimes disconnect from each other because we're all on our devices. So I set boundaries for myself. I set boundaries for them as well. So they understand there's certain times where we aren't on our screens. We can be bored. We can talk to each other, but we have those real moments of connection. And that's something that I think is starting to be lacking now.
That's an important topic as well. We talk a lot to moms about small children and their devices, and we talk a lot about ourselves and our own addiction to phones. I mean, I have my own daughter who'll be like, "Are you taking that phone with you again? Can you not just leave it sometimes by your side?" Because we forget ourselves.
Absolutely.
If we're a little bit too connected all the time, or we need to be responding almost all the time or immediately. When you have these, like you mentioned, a preteen and a teenager as well, how difficult is that to be raising children while you yourself are also very much in the public eye? You're a busy person. How do you manage that with your children?
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Children nowadays are so different, or raising children nowadays are so different to the way we were raised, right?
Okay.
We didn't have exposure to the things that they have exposure to now. So the way we are raising them and guiding them is so different to the way we were raised. And we have to evolve, and we have to adapt, and we have to flow with it. In terms of being the busy mom that I am, and I'm always juggling, tons of things. Alhamdulillah, my life journey was when my kids were little, and when I had to do the madrasa rounds and the swimming and the early fetching at 12 o'clock, and I needed to be there with my kids. I didn't work a full-time job. Moms who are starting that journey of having a family, or women who are starting that journey, often stress about how am I going to manage. But Allah sort of like molds and shapes your life in a way that you do. And it's now that my kids are older, they have longer days at school, and then I have an absolutely beautiful support system in my parents, that I'm able to now focus on my career more. And it's lovely that they are watching that journey, and they see me as a mom, as a woman, doing things for herself. And they're learning. My son is learning what a woman is in this day and age, as one day he'll enter that whole new journey. But my daughter, even, she's learning that we do things for ourselves, and I'm able to give her that role model, which is not always something that's easy. But I'm happy for them to be learning, and for me to be learning as well on that journey.
They say when your children reach a certain age, they become your biggest critics, and they just know you inside out, and they know the you that you don't necessarily show to the world. What would they say about the mommy they have today versus the mommy a few years back?
I think the mommy they had a few years back is the mommy that they needed. It
Right.
was the mommy that was there for school pickups every day, that was there for the afternoon lunches. And I was the person that they needed me to be, at that time. But the person that I am now, yes, at times they're less, but I'm an evolved version of myself that I would like to think that
You needed to be for
they
yourself.
are proud of. Yeah. And through my journey, I've been so close or connected to my feelings and my emotions that I share that with them. So
Right.
when I've had a hard day at work, or things are just feeling not so good, right? I openly will say, listen, today, everyone just be nice to me because I'm feeling not so good, or it's been a hard day. And I only realized, and I mean, obviously then they are, bickering less, and everyone's a little more gentle to me. But my son came to me this morning, and he gave me a hug, and he was like, I'm feeling sad. And then I was like, it's because I share that with him. I share when I'm feeling down, and he felt that it's okay.
It's okay to express.
To get up in the morning and not be frustrated, but to say, I'm feeling sad. So instead of me scolding at him and saying, you're walking so slowly to shower, and you aren't smiling, I understood that my boy just needed a hug, at that time. And it's sharing our emotions with each other that makes our home a safe place of peace. And it's something that I have worked very hard on creating, just a bubble of peace for us.
Ooh, as a boy mom, I can so relate, and that is so important that they're able to express that, and they expect to say when something's bothering them as well. And I think that's so crucial to lead them into men that are able to recognize their emotions and everything else that comes along with it. I'm sure you'll see the differences when you're raising a son and raising a daughter as well. They both come as a package deal, but alhamdulillah, and that you're able to address it. There's so much more that we have to still go through. I want to go through maybe some of your regrets, some of the mistakes that you made along the way. Because sometimes when people look through your feed or your life and they'll think, wow, it was so easy. It was so amazing to have her life. And sometimes they're not realizing the actual hard work that goes behind it. There's so much more to talk about, and the spring in your life and the new beginnings for you. We're talking to Shaaista Kathree here on Along the Path, and that's exactly what we aim to do. Talk about your journey along the path and where it takes you and what you do with what life gives you. More about that on the other side of this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Salma Kazi Wahab. Welcome back to Along the Path. In studio with me today is Durban's very own Shaaista Kathree. Coming from somebody that's face is plastered on a billboard, I love to say that because it's so amazing to see in South Africa somebody that you know or recognize to be on a billboard, but not necessarily just from a show-offish or model perspective, but it's just the fact that you were recognized for what you did. You've been seen in so many important campaigns, working with so many successful brands, and well done on all of that. But surely there's something behind the scenes that takes you to get to that point. Surely there's some sort of struggle. Were there ever moments where things just did not go your way? Maybe expectations that you had or things that you thought would work out differently and it just didn't. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. And there's so many, and I would call them life lessons that have happened along the way, you know. And we have this, and I had a very strong vision for how I saw my life. You know, I got married quite young. I had kids. I knew the age gap I wanted between my kids. I knew that I wanted to be done with kids by 30. You know, I had the vision laid out, right. And Allah knows best. And I went through a divorce 5 years ago, and I say through a divorce because it's something that you go through. Right. It's a journey, and it's a journey on your part to finding yourself and settling into who you need to be. It's not something that defines you, right? But it's going through the trauma, and believe me, when you're going through the trauma, it's something that you want to get away from, you know, as quick as you can. But it's the trauma, it's the healing that comes from it, and then it's the perspective change. You know, removing yourself from any situation that you're unhappy in, be it a job, be it a relationship, just getting yourself to a place of peace. There is absolutely nothing like it. And my journey evolved through, you know, years of marriage, through, you know, then becoming a mom, and then what I've settled into now in the last 5 years. And I wouldn't ever call anything that I went through a regret, any of those life lessons a regret, because they're exactly that. They're life lessons. And, you know, Allah's so great, and His timing is so great that things fall into place in a timing and in a way that is so divine, it could never be something that we planned or we curated. And it's through just accepting. And I think the biggest perspective change spiritually for me through my journey has been just letting go of my plan and letting Allah take over. And it's only when I truly did that. Now, if something doesn't go my way, if I get a flat tire on the way to record a segment with Salma on TV, I'm at peace still. I know that wasn't meant for me. I know that I wasn't meant to be at that place at that certain time. And it's only through letting go of things. I don't get the job, I don't get the promotion. I know I'll still be okay in the long run because Allah has a plan for me or a journey for me. And it's truly through that, or that way of coping and being at peace through any of the traumas or any of the life lessons that I've been through that helped me to still, you know, continue with the campaigns, to still, land up with a corporate career now and, persuade that as my next chapter in my journey. So, and I've tried to, over my, my social platforms, I've tried to share as much as I can, or as much as I wanted to at the time or was comfortable with of my journey, to inspire again, and then be inspired by like-minded women. And many of those reached out to say, this is how I handled my tough time. And, I shared my version as well of how I coped and I managed. And just being as open as I can through the the billboards and the campaigns and all of that, being as honest and as true to myself as I can, and sharing as I go along.
I think that's so important too. And like you mentioned, so many people reached out because they could relate. And that's very important, that sense of relatability. So I'm sure as well with many propositions or maybe meetings that didn't go as you envisioned or planned, or certain doors that just closed, and were opportunities, like you said, that you learned that was not meant for you, something better, Allah's timing. You bring up such beautiful concepts that we talk about all the time on the program, to trust in His plan, because once you start dictating your own plan and it doesn't go away, it just ultimately leads to so much of disappointment. What would you say to those people, that perhaps those young aspirant females that are highly ambitious and they think, okay, now they're going to go out and conquer the world? What would you say to them?
You know, there's something that hit me through my journey, right, through my life lessons. And I realized that sometimes the people closest to you can give you advice, not from a bad place, from absolutely with the best heart and with the best intentions for you. But it only comes from a place of where they are, you know, this perspectives that they have.
Yeah.
And it is, and a good friend of mine says, back yourself. It's through backing myself all of those years, through, you know, little campaigns where I'd market all sorts of things on my social platform, to then getting bigger brand work and now, you know, a corporate career in marketing. I backed myself. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew what I was doing with it. I was having fun with it as well. I backed myself, and that's what I would say to young women, you know, back yourself. Know where you're going or where you're wanting to go, you know, that the tawakkul always, and have a good support system.
Absolutely. So with the coming of the new spring, surely there's a spring in your life as well. You can't be sitting idle for too long, because sometimes we follow your journey. We know, okay, you're busy here, you're promoting this, you're promoting that, but you've been quiet for a little while. So I'm guessing everyone's wondering, so what's next? What's the new chapter? Is there a new spring for you? New baby? I don't know.
New baby. So there is a new baby. You know, this year was my, 5 years of divorce, getting financially stable again, figuring out who I was as an individual again, took work. And it took a lot of hustle, you know, all of it. And I worked and I worked and I healed and I put in effort and time. And this year was the first year where I wanted to be, as they say, in my soft girl era. I wanted to be in my pink. I wanted to be in my feminine energy and just put less pressure on myself, right? But being the person I am,
doesn't last for long.
It doesn't last for long. And at the same time as saying that I wanted to be in my soft girl era, I also chose my word for the year, and I always choose a word for the year.
Right.
And my word for this year was value. That I wanted to add value. I felt like maybe, you know, that time that you were saying that I was quiet, I was sharing just the place that I had gotten to, you know, on my social platform, but not my journey any longer. And it's sort of like, it felt to me that I was being selfish, that I wasn't adding value. And those years of, you know, post-divorce, these last, 5 years, I needed to be selfish. I needed to focus on myself and my family. But I feel now I'm in a comfortable space where I'm happy and I'm able to share a lot more. And I want to now share value. And through that, you know, I started an Instagram account called Mima, named after my mom, Mima, in 2021, because I wanted to add value from right back then.
Right.
But, you know, many other life lessons after in my journey, it just wasn't the right time to carry on or to start that platform. And in my year of value, here I am talking about Mima now on Hilaal TV with you. And it's a space and a platform that I've created that is a community of women where I add value and we all add value. So there's going to be ongoing conversations through social media lives, through podcasts, where I chat to industry experts that I've learned from, be it industry experts in marketing, people who have healed me through my journey, other women that have shared their journey with me and perhaps want to share with an audience. So there's those powerful ongoing conversations to create community. And then there are in-person workshops. And these workshops are something that I've, since 2021 wanted to start. And it brings in a curated, beautiful space that we'd be in, bringing in my years of experience in the event planning industry. And then we create something with our hands, be it making an air dry clay little trinket tray to flower arranging to anything, just getting creative with our hands. And then we are changing mindsets and changing perspectives in terms of the industry experts, the women who'd like to share, that we speak to, and we share our journeys, and we leave from those workshops, from those Mima workshops, inspired and holistically a better version of ourselves. And this is really, truly my way of adding value and giving back. And what would look like the picture of success of Mima to me is just women saying that, they've changed their perspective. They've, landed at a place of peace. For me, that's the picture of success.
And with that, a beautiful way to bring the program to a close today. Shaaista, thank you so much for spending that time with us. We wish you all the best with Mima. We can't wait to see what unfolds for us here. With this new spring comes Mima and Shaaista, Kathree, a brand new chapter, inshallah. And we wish that this spring brings for you a new chapter as well, a brand new spring in some way or another, even if it's a new wardrobe, a new career choice, a new partner, whatever it may be. We wish you all the best with that, inshallah. And Rabi Noor Mubarak and Mawlid al-Nabi Mubarak to you as well. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.